In this video, I'm going to help you find or create your business's unique competitive advantage and walk you through the process for how to do it step by step. If you're not attracting the kind of customers you'd like, your business isn't growing as fast as you want it to, or your marketing just doesn't seem to be working at all, it's probably just because you're making this one crucial mistake that pretty much every single business out there makes at some point or another. And that is, you're saying the wrong things to the wrong people. Which means you're either blending in with everybody else, or you're talking about your business in a way that your customers don't get or fully understand or appreciate. And when that happens, customers tune you out, ignore you, and go to your competitors instead, which costs you sales and loses you money. And you obviously want to avoid that. Now, there's two ways to fix this. First, you can do what most businesses out there do, which is start copying your competitors, doing what they do, saying what they say, and hoping that the people you're copying know what they're doing. Sadly, most don't. Which leads you down the wrong path, following people that don't know what they're doing and copying bad strategies and bad tactics. The better alternative then is to focus on finding and creating your business's unique competitive advantage. Something that makes you different and better, and something that no one else can copy, which makes you stand out in the market. And the best way to find and come up with something truly unique is to approach and attack it from a number of different angles. So the first thing that we want to look at here then is something called value proposition design. A value proposition is a lot of things. It's a concept, it's a strategy, it's a visual diagram or a worksheet that you can use, it's even a book. But at the end of the day, your value proposition is all about describing what you offer customers and why they should choose you. For example, Slack helps you be more productive at work with less effort. Less Accounting offers bookkeeping without the hassle. Crazy Egg provides website behavior tracking at an unbeatable price. And Apple's value proposition is all about how the experience is the product. Now, these are nice, short, and sweet examples, but if yours goes a little longer, that's okay too. For example, Tesla's value proposition is about offering a greener solution combined with high performance, design, functionality, efficiency, long-range capabilities, and strives for low-cost or even free recharging. Now, I'm going to walk you through a process for how to come up with your very own in just a second, but first it's important to take a look at some of the components that actually go into making up a really good and solid and differentiated value proposition. And for this, there's probably no better resource out there than the book Value Proposition Design. Now, there's a lot of stuff in that book, but I want to focus on what I feel are the 5 most important things that you need to focus on. Starting with focusing on the jobs, pains, and gains that matter most to your customers. It's important to remember and to remind yourself from time to time that your business exists to solve customer problems. And some customer problems are more important and therefore more valuable and more profitable to you, so you want to find them and double down on them. The fact is that certain things are just going to naturally matter more to certain kinds of people, so you want to identify what those are so you can give customers what they actually want. For example, let's say that you sell hamburgers and you're proud of the fact that they're organic and grass-fed and ethically treated happy cows, so you make that your focus. But time after time, you just keep hearing from your customers that it's the spices and the seasonings and the way that you mix it all together that makes the flavor just absolutely incredible. And no matter how they try to recreate it at home or no matter what other restaurant they go to, they can never match up with your hamburger flavor. Well, this, my friend, is the cue to start to remix your value proposition. It's not that you need to completely give up on the fact that your beef is organic and grass-fed and all that happy stuff, but you need to shuffle that down the priority list a little bit and replace it and prioritize and put more time and money and energy behind the fact that it's the spices and the seasonings that all of your customers keep raving about. Then, once that's done, stick with it and really hammer it home for a while, making sure that it actually sinks in. Which just happens to be the next point, that you should target a few jobs, a few pains, and a few gains, but do so extremely well. The more things your business does, the more claims you make, and the more promises and propositions you try to advertise, the more confused and overwhelmed your customers become. The fact is that most of your customers probably think of your business for just one thing. So you need to find what that one thing is, and then make sure that that's what your business's starring role is. For most 7- and 8-figure businesses, and for pretty much all 6-figure businesses, less is more. You're going to be much better off and far more profitable by focusing on doing a few things better than everyone else rather than a whole bunch of stuff at an average level. Bit of a side note here, but if you take a look at everything you do and you offer, I'm willing to bet that some of your products and services are making you most of your money, and some are just using up resources and mental space, and you'd be much better off by cutting them right now. Okay, next is to make sure that your value proposition goes beyond functional jobs and addresses emotional and social jobs. One of the secrets in the classic marketing book Positioning is to consider making an emotional product more functional by stripping away unnecessary extras, or making a functional product more emotional. Essentially, taking the opposite approach to everyone else in your space can help you stand out and attract new and different kinds of customers, not to mention appeal to a different side of the current customers that you already have. The point to remember here is that no buying decision is ever completely functional or completely logical. There are always emotional elements, like how your offer is going to make someone feel, as well as social components like how your product or your service is going to help to elevate the social status of whatever circle they're in. And this is why, like all things in marketing, it's important to understand your customers so that you're sure that you're highlighting the right benefits in the right way. As an example, if I drop my kids off for school in a minivan, well, I look like a responsible dad and family man, which helps to elevate my status within that circle. On the other hand, if I drop them off for school in a souped up, lime green, offensively loud Lamborghini, well, that would lower my status, at least in regards to the social circle surrounding the school and its community. So on that note, the next point I want to cover is to make sure to align your business's value with how your customers measure success. Another way to put this would be to say that you want to give people what they want, not what you want or what you think they want. For example, if your customers say they want to lose 10 pounds, well, don't make your promise about helping them create a better nutrition or exercise plan. Make it about helping them lose 10 pounds. Sure, you know that diet and exercise is the path to get them there, but that's not what they asked for. Another example. If they want to retire young, well, don't offer them savings or investment planning. Show them a path to follow and paint a picture of what retiring young looks like for them. Talk about what they'll do when they retire, why it's important, and how other people just like them have achieved the same thing. Next, the most profitable businesses and value propositions focus on jobs, pains, and gains that a lot of people have, or that some people will pay a lot of money for. Alright, let's do some quick math here. If you want to make $1 million in your business, you can either solve a $1 problem for 1 million people, or you can solve a $1 million problem for one single person. And every step in between that too. Neither approach is necessarily better than the other one, however I will tell you from personal experience, selling a $1 million offer is not 1 million times harder than selling a $1 offer. So selling items on the more expensive end of the spectrum do tend to be more profitable and easier to sell overall. Okay, next let me walk you through something I learned from April Dunford and the book Obviously Awesome, where she talks about the 5+1 components of effective positioning. Going through these will really help you clarify what makes you different and unique and ultimately better than pretty much everyone else out there. But first, a real quick primer on what is probably the most confusing and equally most important part in all of marketing, which is positioning. Positioning is a marketing term that refers to a business's ability to influence consumer perceptions about them and where they stand in relation to their competitors. For example, Starbucks has positioned itself as a source of upscale quality coffee compared to Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. McDonald's has positioned itself as a place to get fast and cheap food, and Apple has positioned itself as a cooler, more user-friendly, and hipper company than the more business-focused Microsofts of the world. Basically, positioning is where you fit in the market, and just like with branding, if you don't take control of this, well, your customers will for you, and where you end up may not be where you want to. So the first step in the 5+1 components is to identify competitive alternatives. In other words, what would your customers do if your business, your offer, your product, your solution just didn't exist? Using Starbucks as an example, well, their customers could just go to another coffee shop, or they could make coffee at home, or tea, or they could just skip it altogether. Next then is unique attributes. These are the features and the attributes that you have that the alternatives do not. For example, maybe you have a service that's faster or perhaps more personalized. Or maybe you have a product that's more durable or comes with a lifetime guarantee. For example, my favorite brand of socks is called Darn Tough. It feels weird to admit out loud that I have a favorite brand of socks. And these socks have a lifetime guarantee, which frankly I find amazing. And even if I never take them up on this lifetime guarantee, well, constantly wearing through socks is what led me to them in the first place, and this value proposition was really kind of music to my ears. The next point then is value and proof. These are the benefits that all of the features and capabilities that you just listed out enable for your customers. Sticking with my sock example for the time being, well, the benefit here is that I pretty much never need to worry about ordering socks again, because I ordered a few dozen pair the first time I found out about them. It also means that I'm able to feel better as a global citizen by cutting down on my waste by never needing to throw out old socks again. And it saves me time by never having to go sock shopping again. Not that I used to spend a lot of time shopping for socks anyway, but now I spend none. Okay, next is target market characteristics. These are the characteristics of a group of buyers that lead them to naturally care a whole lot about what it is that you sell. Now, this one's really important, as this is all about the people that you're actually going to be selling to. So you need to make sure that you know who they are, what they want, and how you can help them. So what is it about your best customers that makes them most likely to become lifelong, die-hard, loyal brand ambassadors that love you and love everything you do? For example, Subaru, the car company, built a number of different marketing campaigns and initiatives around the fact that some of their best customers were dog owners. And they realized that the values and the characteristics of these dog owners made them more appreciate Subarus and just how dog-friendly they were. Okay, next is market category. This is the market that you describe yourself as being a part of, which helps customers understand your value. Now, applying a market category label to your business is important because even though you're trying to think outside the box, you still need to acknowledge the fact that there is a box. And people call it a box. So you're not doing yourself any favors by calling it a quadrilateral cubiform depository device. It's a box. Point being, make sure to use the language that your customers use, rather than confusing them with jargon and all kinds of fancy and possibly made-up terms. Then there's the bonus part of the equation, relevant trends. Trends are things going on in the current environment that your target customers understand and/or are interested in that can help make your product or service more relevant right now. The best competitive advantage in the world, though, isn't going to do you any good if nobody knows about it, which is why the next piece of the puzzle that you need to nail down is how to get this message directly in front of your ideal target market. So to help you do that, I've linked up a video right here that's going to walk you through some of my best marketing strategies and tactics. So make sure to check that out now, and I'll see you in the next video.